So this is kind of like the grow slash, you know, accent plant cutting bench.
Okay.
So this is a bunch of seeds.
Oh my goodness.
So
Where'd you get this seed tray from?
Home Depot.
Really?
Yeah. It's like 120 cells.
Wow, I've never seen anything like that. Made of styrofoam.
Yeah. So great for this kind of
for
stuff.
starting little seedlings up.
Yeah. So here's a block of cork bark portucaras.
Yeah.
Which are rooting. I think hopefully all of them will have rooted. These are all Siberian elms.
Okay.
So Nigel, if you pan up, this big tree right here is a Siberian elm that just dumps seeds. dumps them. Like I didn't plant any of these. These just landed here.
Well, future workshop trees maybe.
Yeah. And the Siberian elm's a great bonsai species, a tiny elm, hardy.
Yeah.
So they just kind of landed here. There's some fringe leaf Japanese maples in here.
Yeah.
That are starting.
Yeah, they're quite fringy, aren't they?
Yeah, not the strongest growth, but at least I got some, so we'll play with those.
Yeah, I've got one at home that's doing quite well now.
Oh, great. Behind it, there's some wild blueberries.
Okay, yeah.
Here in here, I had a blueberry on it. I don't know if we'll find it. This is the wild one with the smaller leaves.
Okay.
And then this side just is like a production blueberry, I think.
Nice.
And then there's some accent plants. I have a French lilac back here. It has a white flower.
Cue the music.
Yeah, you'll have to overlay the French lilac. It's got a nice little trunk to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is from the $5.99 lady.
Oh, cool.
I don't know, I think it's $8.99 now or whatever.
Yeah.
But still great. Everything she sells in the 1 gallon nursery and the whole nursery is the same price.
Same price. It's just a nice way to do it.
Yeah, easy.
Cool.
Yeah, some more accenty plant. Like this one's flowering. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's got a cool. So these are things that aren't in pots yet.
Yeah.
Some pots behind it,
Pots
underneath.
shelf down here. Very nice.
And then another seed tray of various.
Some goldenrod there.
Yeah, gross.
I get that in my pots too.
But what I was going to give you, Nigel, is one of the. Do you have a Montpellier maple yet?
No.
Yeah. So I think Jay and some people have them, but you're more than welcome to have one of these.
Oh, I would.
It's
even though I'm not allowed to take any more trees, I could make an exception, couldn't I?
It's a hardy.
It's a hardy tree.
Yeah, hardy North France kind of area.
Yeah.
But it has a kind of like a trident maple leaf.
Yeah.
Like a very nice leaf type.
More rounded, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them in books and that, and I've always thought, oh, that'd be nice to have someday.
So
I would certainly take one, Connor.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Help me clean up my benches. There's some Korean hornbeams in here.
Okay.
Some more elm.
From cuttings or seeds?
Yeah, cuttings.
Yeah.
These are the dwarf primo thuyas that you find over there, and then these are native maples, the bigger maples.
Yeah.
I think one is the black maple, which I think you have.
Yeah.
And then there's reds in there, I think, too.
And the leaf cutter wasps have been busy here, taking pieces out of your leaves.
Well, I'll show you the red bud.
Oh yeah,
over down there when we get to it, and it barely has any leaves left. Like it must have been a favorite for them.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Beside it is my root bridge.
Oh my goodness.
Which is my other Natal ficus project.
But that's got aerial roots growing under there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at that. There's the root bridge.
So I think my next step here is I'm gonna have to like carve some of the root out, because like look how thick the main root is across the bridge. Well, or maybe carve the platform.
I've seen they put stones on the floor of the root bridge. Wow, is that ever cool, eh, Connor? It's between two rocks.
Yeah.
And this is your little river in the middle here.
Yeah, so this was these were the pups.
Okay.
That I was talking about. Like they just sit in the water, but like look, they're full of.
Wow, that's the pitcher plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that root bridge in here. It's like a miniature world.
So it's just in a boot tray. I'm still trying to find a a marble penching pot big enough for it.
Yeah.
But whatever this is, like the money, I forget.
Okay.
But it came from this.
I see.
And it is now grown. You can see it's growing. I'm never getting this out now.
Okay.
It's taken over.
Oh my goodness.
And it's flower. It's nice, but
yeah,
you know, I didn't really want it in here. So now I think I'm going to be perpetually picking it.
Well, when they're small, it kind of adds to the jungle feel, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it'd be nice to. This is the back.
Okay.
It'd be nice to just give some depth to the planting in the front, some smaller stuff. So maybe if you're right. If I keep it pruned, like and they stay small.
They look very tropical, like, you know, you see those giant leaved plants in the jungles and that. Oh, that's coming along really nice, Connor.
Look into this side is just covered in roots.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so that's overdue for a prune.
Very nice.
And some root work.
And here is a giant forest.
Yeah, this is my mixed species forest.
Okay.
So it has dwarf Alberta spruce.
Yeah.
And larch.
Larch.
So the main larch has cones.
Oh wow.
Pretty vigorous. Have you seen them where the cones produce needles on top?
I have not seen that.
It's kind of weird.
That is very strange. Here's a look at that.
So
I've
apparently
never
it's a thing that they do sporadically.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Here's another one with needles.
I've seen cones with kind of needle-like scales on them, but never like that.
Well, the cones are so beautiful in spring, that bright pink.
Yeah. Well, I've learned something new today. So here's a look at the forest floor.
Yeah. So it needs some scaping work, but here you can see the
the fertilizer bag.
Pads,
yeah.
And look, these ones grew so strong that I split the trunk.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what it's from.
Yeah.
Like they were, they're too vigorous that the bark couldn't keep up with it.
Couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's split here. It's in the back, so.
Wow.
But Nigel and I were discussing before just the vigor difference between the spruce, which all look, they're all pruned at the same time, and the larches that look like they weren't pruned.
Yeah. They just grow like crazy, don't they?
Yeah. So there's like another.
All this rain we've been having, they just go ballistic.
Yeah. So the pot's held up well.
Yeah.
You can see there's some.
This is the pot you made, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a carbon fiber base with kind of like stucco rocks, like they're cast stones that I made with a silicone mold. So I captured the texture. These are from the rocks that we collected in Kingston.
Yeah.
And I made a silicone mold of the surfaces, and then painted them.
Wow.
But you can see it's chipped in a couple places. So that's the bare rock underneath. So in a couple years when I want to show it, I'll repaint.
Touch it up
rocks,
or something. Yeah, it looks really good, Connor.
It hasn't broke yet, so.
No. Well, that's the important thing. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a big forest, Connor.
Yeah. Like maxes out my matrix. That's about.
Yes, yeah. You need
nothing bigger. I can't really fit.
Yeah, you need a van in future.
Yeah.
Appa's got a stick.
Big one. What are you doing?
Sorry, we're not playing with you, Appa. We're neglecting you.
Bonsai priority. I'm growing
down here.
some ficus on the ground.
Okay.
So same thing. I'm letting them escape root into the ground. Hopefully, get them really vigorous.
Yeah.
And then pull them in the. So this is one of my first bonsais. You can see. You guys may remember this one. It's like a Shohin training for Shohin.
Yeah.
Really nice base. First couple branches set, and I'm basically regrowing this trunk to thicken up the last, third of the tree.
Wow.
But I'm keeping it on the ground and hopefully, getting a lot of vigor out of it.
Once season. Those escape roots take hold, they'll grow like crazy.
But same thing, like once you mentioned that, thinking back, like, it hasn't been a good year for ficus so far.
No.
Well, not a bad year, but just not, like I was hoping that this would be done this season.
Yeah.
But I may need another season of growing that new apex.
We have such a short growing season. It takes all of June for my ficus to get used to being indoors to outdoors.
Right.
They only start growing in July, and then they pick up vigor at the end of July.
Yeah. And then it's back inside.
Then it starts getting cool, and the nights get cool, and the days get shorter, and then your season's over.
And then you're back to inside. So this is my conifer bench, kind of.
Okay. Wow.
So a couple new trees that we'll get to, but here's my pine joy.
Oh yeah.
So it's recently been thinned out.
That's very different from when I saw it last.
Yeah.
That looks really good, Connor.
Mm-hmm. But you can see with these junipers, with the budding and the pruning, you get back budding. So they do,
Yeah.
Like that I don't want because it's
the right placement.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
Right
Thank you for the effort.
Yes.
Tree?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's thinned out quite severely.
Yeah.
And it's now coming back. You can see all the nice green tips.
That must have taken
healthy.
you a while to thin that.
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
Days.
Yeah. One branch at a time, and you just keep going at it, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to detail wire it, but I got most of the way with pruning. So if I don't need to wire, I'm not going to. I try to stay, mostly clip and grow.
Yeah.
But back to the side here, this is Japanese red pine, a cascading variety. It has relatively pretty long needles here.
Yeah.
Soft. And very flowy, so that's why I kind of kept the design.
Yeah.
But you can see that the back buds are small, so eventually,
it'll
with ramification
it'll come
and
back. Yeah, get small needles eventually.
Look at this, Nigel. I thought this was cool. So this one branch, for whatever, every single needle location got a new bud. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this whole branch is all new buds, all back budding.
Kind of look like a bristle brush or something,
right?
A toothbrush.
Yeah, so I have a ton of I looked at it one day.
Everyone, eh?
Yeah, I was like, wow,
that's amazing.
And I think it's from the wire. Like when you constrict or stress something out with wire or pruning or kind of that, then that's where you get the back budding response. Like the crown is super coarse. There must have been dozens of candles right there.
Wow, that's amazing.
In front of it is our native red pine.
Okay.
This is, another one of those species that everyone tells you not to work with.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful bark, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of my frontier with these deadwoods. And I might angle it a little more.
I have to get in there to show the trunk. Yeah, wow. It's very cool.
But yeah, same. So there's kind of a cascade trunk here, so that's why I've left this grow to kind of keep the cascading
the vigor in it, eh?
Yeah, and again, it hasn't really been in ramification much. So yeah, they're really long, but tons of new candles to grow with. And I did have the needles at one point very, very small.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a Japanese black pine. If you let it grow, they get long needles.
Yeah.
And with proper techniques, you can get them quite
small.
small.
Look, this was maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
For about this size.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of
twice as long.
Yeah, in nature, they're 2 to 4 inches.
Yeah. Huge.
So everyone's like, no, don't use that. But, you'll see I have English oaks and stuff. Sorry, not native oaks. I'm a very strong proponent of trying to use native species when we can. Beside it is a dwarf Alberta spruce.
Okay, I saw those at that Conan nursery.
Yeah, they come in they're smaller. I think it's like a Prince Albert or
I
something
think
variety.
That's what they called it. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is about ready to be in a little pot. I've had this you guys have seen this before. Great branch structure.
Yeah,
and like you said, Nigel, once you have to aggressively prune the spruce and keep them tight.
Yeah.
They're tough. Once they get away, you're kind of out of luck.
Again, consistency, with technique and.
Yeah.
And this is the thuja, right?
No. This is a Seka Hinoki.
Okay.
And we were talking about redwoods before. This is styled to be a West Coast redwood.
Like a West Coast redwood. Isn't that nice? It looks like it, Connor.
Yeah. Dead straight, short,
Yeah.
Close to the trunk foliage.
Looks like that would look really good in a bonsai pot.
Yeah, I think maybe something like this or thinner.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe even a tray, like a pension tray. Something to accentuate that height.
I would try, do you have any cuttings of it?
Yeah.
I would try the big tree and then maybe a couple of smaller ones around it as a little forest.
Like
so it makes it look even more giant.
Yeah.
And then prune the cuttings to look like a conical form, to look like a young one instead of the old growth style.
Yeah, like I could do that with these, right?
Yeah. I think that would make the tall tree look taller and older and mature.
Yeah.
Something like my avatar grove. I have like the one old tree in the forest and the rest are younger.
That's a really good idea, Nigel. I really like that.
I think that'll look good. And then maybe a shallow oval pot to kind of...
Yeah.
Kind of.
I love forests.
Yeah. I think that's what it needs to... Something that gives it scale to make this one look like it's twice as tall as any other tree in the forest.
Yeah.
That's a great looking tree though. Wow. So what kind is this? The dwarf?
Seka Hinoki.
Okay.
It's a Japanese.
I think that's what I have too, isn't it? The little tiny one?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, those little ones that you and Matt got.
Yeah.
There's a ton of different varieties of this.
Okay.
Like you'll see, like down there, my weird spirally one.
Okay.
That's also a Campsiferous.
Okay. Because the label just said dwarf Hinoki cypress.
Yeah. There's the Seka. There's Hinoki, like the Hinoki.
Okay.
All bunches of different weird stuff.
Great trees though, eh? Like you can get a big tree look in something that's very small. I love that.
Behind it is a dwarf blue spruce, Colorado blue spruce.
Okay, yeah.
But just check out the lichen from the rain, eh?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like the whole
Matches
tree
color
is blue, right?
Yeah,
it's
the
a big
foliage.
blue tree.
And this is very dwarf because the full-size tree has quite long needles.
This is the native Colorado, well not native, but the natural type.
I see, so you can see the long needles on that. Quite a difference, isn't there?
And more spiky, like less soft.
Yeah.
So very, very small, softer too compared to the other one.
Oh yeah, feels much nicer, doesn't it?
So I repot this in a KW meeting.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was, and I did it because it was very late. It was like one of the latest ones to open. And then I had it under the shade, and now it's back on the bench. So
that's looking good, isn't it?
I would say kind of fully recovered.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a nice repotting demo.
Yeah. These are from Derek.
Okay. Arizona cypress?
Yes, that's it. Because I have the mesquite over there as well.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, these started inside and are growing really strong.
Look
out
at
of the
the
bottom.
roots. I just pruned mine up recently. It's like
nice.
A little tiny thing.
Yeah. So two trees in there.
And they recover from root pruning really well.
Oh, good.
I thought I'd killed it for sure when I first potted it in a little tiny pot, and it survived.
Oh, right. It's in your...
It's the little mini one on the bonsai bench.
Yeah, I love that bench. That's
I just pruned it recently.
Behind it is a dwarf hemlock.
Wow. Look at that, eh?
Kind of a cascade style, or swept over. Very dense.
We were just talking about dwarf trees, that it seems every year there seems to be a new dwarf variety of something, and they keep getting smaller and smaller. And we were saying that, in the future we won't even have to do bonsai. You just
it'll just be natural.
Plant the dwarf variety and they grow. Yeah, amazing.
Above it is a collected thuya.
Oh wow.
I like this deadwood part here.
Yeah.
And this.
Wow.
So it's recovering.
Yeah.
Ready to be in a pot soon.
Small foliage, eh?
Yeah.
It's really fine.
Yeah. Lots of work thuys, as we were just talking about.
Yeah. Cool trees though.
Yeah. Behind it is a group of 3 spruce.
Okay. I was supposed to bring you a black spruce today.
Oh, oh no problem.
Connor. Next time I see you.
Yeah, well, it's not. I'll show you what I'm gonna put in, but it's not like I'm gonna do it today, anyways. So yeah, three trees. You know, pruned to kind of different sizes. So the main tree here you can see is the most vigorous.
Yeah. And what species of spruce is it?
I think it's like a Seca spruce.
Okay.
Or Ezo.
Okay.
Seca. I think they're kind of.
Yeah.
Another kind of thing that we were just talking about, the Ficus, I think they're related or closely related.
Okay.
It's like an alpine European spruce that is big in bonsai.
Yeah.
For its small leaves.
Small leaves.
So it's super vigorous, and if something dries out first, it's this or one of those larches down there.
Okay.
So it's my indicator species.
I see. It actually droops, does it?
It did earlier in the summer when it was still fresh. You know, when the spruce grows before it hardens, it's very limp.
Yeah.
So if you miss a watering, that growth will sag. Not
so much now.
Yeah.
It's toughened up.
Mm-hmm. In front of it is a new tree to me. This is our native jack pine.
Okay.
A 2-needle. I've been calling it our Japanese black pine equivalent.
Yeah.
Really old, mature tree.
Yeah.
That I had the opportunity to get from David Easterbrook.
Oh wow.
So I was really excited. I was looking for a native pine, a little more developed.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to get this. I haven't done much to it yet. I'm going to wait for it to flush in the spring. And
nice to have a David Easterbrook tree, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get it. And you know, it's in a great pot, like a Nanban style pot. It doesn't. I'm not a big fan of this.
I see.
I mean, I may shorten it or something.
Right.
And then maybe thin it. I think it would look more natural in a like a literati style. I think there may be a little too much foliage for the trunk.
I see.
But great tree.
Yeah. Wow.
Behind it, a couple more collected thuyas. So you can see the tenjin or the lead jin on this. And it comes down to a big thick base down here.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
And very, very natural, like, see this branch?
Yeah,
and then swoops down.
Yeah.
Very natural branch placement.
Yeah, it looks...
So it needs a thinning, again, like very vigorous.
Yeah.
Collected about this time last year.
Okay, and it's reestablished itself and going well, eh?
So I've done a lot of collecting on the Civic, the August long weekend.
Yeah.
Thuya and oaks.
Okay.
A little bit more north. And it's kind of like the end of, because it's more north, so it's the zones go up, and so it's like, it's closer to their fall.
I see.
So yeah, they recover really well. All done by Mother Nature.
Yeah.
So it'll be a nice.
But you can take credit for it.
Yeah.
At a show, you say.
I'll put them in the right place.
Yeah. You say, I did all that.
This is. Let's see how vigorous it is growing into the thing below. This is a little Thuya.
Okay. Wow. So gnarly.
Yeah. Cool deadwood, eh?
Oh my goodness.
So
that is
the living
wild.
vein is here.
That's just wild.
And it may be tough to see, but basically there's, maybe from the back, you can see there's 1, 2, 3 branches.
Okay.
That's it. And it looks really nice when it's pruned.
I see.
But I'm trying to make it a mame cedar, which I haven't seen any. Have you seen any mame cedars?
I have those ones that root over rock.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the smallest I've seen.
Yeah, I've never seen them in a small size, except for that. That's a great point. But they're challenged to keep them that small, isn't it?
Yeah, very hard.
Yeah. So this is again needs a good prune.
Oh, that's a fantastic tree. Oozing with character.
Yeah. In front of it is a dwarf strobus, white pine, eastern white pine.
Wow.
I think it's called a sea urchin variety. It's grafted. You can see the graft in there.
I see.
But very, very tiny leaves.
Soft needles.
Yeah. I was either going to use it for like grafting stock, like scion stock.
Yeah.
Or grow it out, and because it's not a big tree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You know.
But beautiful little tree, isn't it?
Yeah, good start. Good size. Growing well in you know, like pure inorganic soil, so getting it there first.
Nice and healthy.
So to round off this bench, I kind of have them on either side. They're my favorite project trees.
Yeah.
They're both from the Toronto workshop.
I remember that.
Workshop.
Yeah. They've come a long way since I last saw them.
Yeah, so I recently, you would have seen them on the two big benches in my other place.
Yeah.
So this one finally got work on. It's a Japanese black-red cross.
Okay.
And we cranked this main branch down with Mike from the club. Raffia'd, electrical taped.
Wow.
There's, big copper reinforced underneath this. Like a lot of copper went into this.
Yeah.
And torqued the branch way down.
Wow. Where was it before?
Flat.
Like way up. Okay.
Remember it was like this?
Yeah.
Very wide.
Yeah.
So I cut. That's what this whole side was ginned.
Oh wow.
And then this branch was in a nice spot to be wrapped around as the apex. This branch right here in the back.
Yeah.
Maybe sacrificed, right? Like it's just the torque is holding that down.
I
And
see.
I think
It's
this
pulling it.
this branch will be
The keeper, right?
the cascade apex.
Yeah, because it has nice taper, doesn't it?
Yes.
It goes from thick to thin, and
And a little bit of change of movement. Like this is very straight and
yeah,
not a lot of taper.
yeah, that would be a good plan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is kind of like a hodgepodge bench. I have some big forests here, some little accents, and I tried to keep most of my finished stuff on this bench, but it didn't really work out.
Okay.
So this is a black spruce and larch forest.
Okay.
A singular larch. Actually, maybe I'll pull it out and we can have a better look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is another mixed forest, black spruce and a singular larch.
Okay.
So, and it's on a composite pot again.
Wow.
I didn't make this one. This was Angelo.
Okay.
But this one I wanted to keep kind of true to form. So this is like the black spruce, which is native.
Yeah.
And the larch, which is again native, and they grow harmoniously in like the bogs and the thing, kind of things you were doing.
North.
But I wanted the aesthetic of like the single larch with the surrounded by the black spruce. So
Nice.
Maybe another tree here, but this is the one that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Too heavy of a pruning.
Oh well.
Which would be nice. It'll look good as a dead tree.
It does. It looks good. That'll really stand out in fall, the larch,
Yes,
won't it? It'll
yeah.
be surrounded by green and
Yeah, but look how vigorous the larch is. It's crazy.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So I didn't prune it because I wanted it. It's kind of the main tree in the forest. So
Yeah. So
this was the thickest.
I see.
But now the larch looks the thicker, and in a
Catching up.
season it will be the thickest by far.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll thicken up fast.
So another mixed species forest here.
Wow.
I got another recent planting. So this has only been together for a season, and this I really wanted to mimic the singular white pine that sticks its head above the deciduous forest. So that's very Canadiana. You see that like up and down Highway 11 and the 400, and
Yeah.
basically the white spruce are always the white pine are always like a third or a head taller than the rest of the forest.
And always a windblown top on them.
Yes, yeah, and they have that triangular
Yeah.
appearance. So this is the primo thuya, the dwarf thuya.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And then the deciduous here are what are they? Chinese elms.
Hokkaido? Or?
Not the
No,
Hokkaido,
no.
Seiju.
Seiju elm, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, it's really nice, the super miniature trees together.
Yeah.
They're really in scale with
Yes,
each other.
Yeah. I was gonna try like thuya in something, but thuya's scale is hard to.
Yeah, it's
It doesn't really.
coarse foliage, and
Yeah.
it's tough to match anything with it, isn't it?
So
That's going to look fantastic as it develops, Connor. It
Yeah.
looks good now.
I think like you mentioned with the other tree there, some small. Actually, I'll pull them over.
Yeah.
I need some ground cover or like something that looks like a bush, right?
I see. Yeah.